What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for 20 Season 2, Episode 5. So we start this episode off. We have Hattie is in her writers group with Adina. And, last week she wasn't prepared. She hadn't read nobody's script. But this week, baby, she was ready, okay? She went person by person and broke down the whole script. She really focused a lot on what she didn't like. Not so much what she did like, but she was ready. She was there, and she was into it, right? She was prepared. So after the group was over, Hattie was like, well, how did I do? And Adina was like, well, girl, although I appreciate the fact that you came prepared this week, I feel like you was a little too prepared, and I appreciate all of your feedback, but maybe you could, not always talk about what you didn't like, and maybe talk a little bit more about what you did like. She said, this is, these are first drafts. These are not finished products. These are just, how's it going? Is it well? And Hattie was like, and she received it. Hattie was like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. Maybe I, was a little too enthusiastic, okay? But I really, once I started reading the other people's scripts, she said it was cool to read somebody else's script and not have to worry about my script and worry about what I was doing. She said, so I hear you. I hear what you're saying. And so, they were talking a little bit or whatever, and they got to talking a little bit more about Ida, and, she was talking about how, she likes being with Ida, but she kind of feels like Ida kind of keeps her on the back burner a little bit. And she said, well, I don't know why you put up with that. And just at that moment, she gets a phone call, an emergency phone call from Marie. So Marie calls the girls together to let them know that, her fiance has admitted that he's bisexual. Well, Hattie was like, girl, I wasn't surprised. I was just waiting for him to tell you because, I had already picked up on those vibes. Mia was like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe that happened. Are you serious? How do you feel? Are you okay with it? And Marie was like, so you knew that my fiance was bisexual and you wasn't going to say nothing? She was like, that's what my business to tell. That's between you and him. She said, let's be honest, though. You ain't know. You ain't suspect. She said, I don't see how this is an emergency. And so Mia was like, so what does that mean? Are y'all still together? She was like, yeah, we still together. Ain't nothing changed, but, we just moving the way we moving. But, I just wanted to let y'all know, and could y'all please not tell nobody. But this is what we're going through. This is kind of what we're processing in our relationship. And again, Hattie is unbothered because Hattie is like, girl, I knew. Mia, I think, is bothered, but not in a homophobic way, just in a, girl, how you gonna move? How do you move forward with this? What are the new rules gonna be? So then Mia admits that she's been hanging out with old boy with, Marie's coworker, and Marie was kind of like, why? Because Marie can't stand him. She thinks he is just not a great person. And Mia was like, well, I kind of like him. It's kind of cool. So Mia has, Marie has an appointment with, Amani Shumpert, and he's talking about making this movie. And he wants to know why they got to go through a studio. And she said, well, we have to go through a studio because that's where the money is. He was like, I got money. She said, but you don't have the kind of money you're going to need to make a movie. He was like, why not? He was like, if I use my own money and I use my own capital, then I don't have to answer to anybody else. And I don't have to make nobody else money but me. He was like, I want to make this movie. I want you to do it. But I don't feel like I need to go through anybody else to get it done. And she was just kind of like, well, this is just the way it's always been done. He was like, well, if that's the way it's always, why do we have to do it the way it's always been done? And later on, we see Marie talking to the fiance about it, and he tells her the same thing. He was like, listen, he ain't wrong. If he has the capital to make it happen, then let it happen. It's nothing. There's no reason to, to say no about that. You might want to think about it. He said, you always want to follow the rules and do things the way it's always been done. And it don't have to be that way. You can be open to it. So, Ida and Hattie out having drinks or whatever. At the coffee shop. And somebody from the studio walked up on them that used to work with Hattie or knew Hattie. And they were playing footsies under the table until an old girl rolled up. And, of course, Ida jumped away as fast as she could. And she never even introduced Hattie as, her friend or whatever. She made it seem like they just kind of, casually ran into each other and they were having coffee or whatever. And so, of course, it made Hattie feel some kind of way once again. You know, and Hattie was like, you know what? You could have at least said I was your friend. Like, you could have at least introduced me as your friend. You really was sitting there acting like you ain't know me. Like, you know, it was just coincidental. And she was like, once again, here we go again. Like, you just don't want to be seen with me. And that's just not what I want in my life. Like, I can't do that. So Mia is at a red carpet. She's by herself and she's a little nervous, you know, walking down the red carpet for the first time. And of course, old boy rolls up on her and he was like, listen, let's go. He was like, you ready for the red carpet? And she was like, you know, I'm a little, you know, nervous walking down the carpet by myself. He was like, I'll walk with you. So they walked down the red carpet. They took selfies. And I was like, is he just forgetting he got a whole girlfriend? I guess he just forgetting he got a whole girlfriend. Okay? Either he forgetting or he just don't care. But one way or the other, honey, the girlfriend is like out of sight, out of mind, right? And he ends up talking to Mia and telling Mia, listen, you need to think about what you're going to do after this show is over. Like, I know you're having a good time now, and it's, you know, it's all good, but you don't want to allow yourself to get pigeonholed into this situation. He was like, you're a leading woman. And she was like, are you serious? He was like, yeah. And he was telling her about, you know, the kind of movies he wants to make. He was like, I want to make a movie that's going to make everybody happy. And she was like, that's not possible. Like, you can't make everybody happy all the time. And he was like, but you can try. He was like, anything is possible, which you can't make everybody happy. Like, that's just not possible. But anyway, but he tells her, listen, I can put you in movies. Like, you are a leading woman. I see that in you, and I can do it. I can put you in the movie. So then Hattie done rolled up on Adina, and Adina was like, girl, listen, what I'm not going to do is keep being your shoulder to cry on. Like, you already know that I like you. I've been clear about how I feel. But you're not going to use me as the place to go when you're mad at Ida. I done already told you how I feel about it. I don't know why you keep putting up with her. But, you know, again, I've told you before, you like the chaos. You like being in those weird spaces. And I can't do it anymore. I can't do it with you anymore. And she was like, that's not true. She was like, she said, well, you have a whole group of friends you can go talk to. She was like, but they not gay. They don't understand what I'm talking about. She said, oh, so I'm your gay friend? And I thought that was very interesting when she said it like that. And Hattie was like, no, but I just know that you understand, you know, that you can understand. And she was like, listen, I don't even know why we're going through all this because we already know that you want to go back to her. We already know that this is the game that y'all play and that you like it. And who ends up calling? Ida. And Hattie was like, no, this is it for real. I'm ending it. I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I can't do this anymore. And she was like, girl, yeah, whatever. She called, you gonna go running, y'all gonna make up, and y'all gonna be right back. She said, that's y'all cycle. That's what y'all do. So she does go to see Ida, and Ida once again has set up this wonderful private date for her. She turned into a whole movie night with Mahogany. And, you know, Hattie was like, this is just the restaurant all over again. Like, you are putting me in this space where you can be affectionate towards me, you can show me love privately. She was like, I don't even know what this is, you know. She was like, but whatever this is, it's over. And Ida was like, exactly. What is this? She was like, I don't know, but understand that until you can make a decision about what it is that you want from me, it's a wrap. Like, we ain't no more touching, no more kissing, no more hugging. That's it. Now, she was going to leave, but she bribed her with the Mahogany movie. So they ended up watching Mahogany. And, you know, when it was over, I think Ida really thought Hattie was playing. I did too. But when it was over, Hattie got up and left. And I was like, you really going to leave? She was like, I'm really going to leave. She was like, but why are you doing this? She was like, because I already told you. I can't do this. I can't be your side chick, your secret, you know, your chick on the side. Like, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that anymore. And she actually drives away. And it hurts her to drive away. But it also hurts Ida to see her drive away. So we see her make a phone call when she's getting ready to leave. And I thought she was calling Dina back. But no, she was actually calling Marie saying, let's meet at our spot. So they meet at the cafe. And what we found out earlier is that Marie still doesn't know about Ida. Because Mia was like, well, when you going to tell her about Ida? She was like, I don't know what I'm going to tell her. But they get to the cafe and, you know, Hattie is just kind of having casual conversation. And Marie was like, girl, I thought, like, I'm glad you called me and all that, but on the phone, you really sound like you had something going on. And, you know, Hattie was like, nah, you know, I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to hang out for a little bit, you know. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if Hattie ended up telling Marie or not because the thing cut off. Y'all know BET need to get their timing right because it's like they cut off the last 30 minutes, 30 seconds to a minute of the show. So I don't know if she finally came clean with Marie. We'll find out next week. I'll find out when y'all find out. My bad though. My bad. But that was the episode. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.